Hey guys, it's GoldenSteelTV here. We're back with another Roblox video, and this time, instead of being the pilot in this game, in the flight simulator game, we're gonna we're gonna play a role as an air traffic controller. All right, I'm walking into the ATC tower. It's kind of busy here, so they need me right now to control to control the traffic and the flow at the airport. It's kind of a busy day for me, but yeah. All right, right now we're dealing with the with with the with an Emirates and Delta Airlines jet and the British Airways jet and the Dreamliner jet is yeah the British Airways A320. All right, I forgot. I think that's a Dreamliner. All right. Okay. While I'm doing my work here as an air traffic controller, let's uh let's get to sports news. I'm giving the plane permission to take off right now, and it is already lifting off the runway. But without further ado, anyways, let's get to sports news and other topics we could talk about in this video while I'm working. All right, we had the free NFL free season. The no, excuse me. The NFL off season being one of the craziest ever, with so many marquee free agency signings and trades that occurred. Okay, now we're gonna talk about it right now. Um, we're gonna start off with the quarterbacks off-season moves. The the Broncos traded for Russell Wilson from the Seahawks after 9 years with the Seahawks since being drafted in the third round in 2012 and being part of the Legion of Boom era, as well as helping the team win against the Broncos and in the Super Bowl, win this win against helping the team win against the Broncos in Super Bowl 48 in 2014. Russell Wilson got traded as the Seahawks are beginning their rebuild phase, and it, the trade also includes draft picks as well. Will Wilson change the Broncos and be the solution at the quarterback position for the Broncos? Well, honestly, I don't know, because we haven't seen him play for the Broncos yet, and since we can't judge off-season moves unless the particular player involved in those things actually plays, I'm just gonna keep quiet on how he will work out for the Broncos until I actually see him play in the Denver uniform. I'm really gonna miss seeing Wilson play for the Seahawks, but he was fun to watch when he played for them. So yeah. So I won't fully judge the Wilson trade until he actually plays. So I'm gonna leave it up to that. Other other quarterback trades included the Falcons finally getting rid of Matt Ryan by trading him to the Colts, who also traded away Carson Wentz to the Washington Commanders. Oh yeah, as if I didn't forget, the Washington football team just got a new name to replace the retired Redskins name. It will be the Washington from now on until forever. It's gonna be the Washington Commanders. just a tidbit to share before we move on. All right, we got another air traffic controller joining me. All right, we got an Emirates Airbus A380 moving. We got a Qantas Boeing 747 on the tarmac. Okay, get back to sports news. Deshaun Watson got traded to the Browns from the Texans after legal wranglings involving the sexual assault allegations got this got got thrown out of court. They get the Browns also gave him a big contract of lasting for 5 years and worth $230 million. This may sound like crazy money, but that's what they actually gave him. However, it the trade come with does come with a lot of unanswered questions, as as his as his as his legal issues involving those sexual assault allegations have not been completely resolved yet. So so the comes with lots of unanswered questions. And still, oh, it'll be exciting seeing Watson play again after all the troubles and after all the and after sitting out for the 2021 season due to his due to his due to a fallout with the Texans organization. I know the trade comes with an asterisk, but when he does play, we'll find out if it does work out or not. The Steelers replaced Big Ben with Mitch Trubisky, who spent just 1 year as backup to Josh Allen at Buffalo. Mitch has been, and and Mitch will be and since the Steelers are going through a rebuild phase and and are not and are not and are not and may not seem to be playoff contenders anytime soon, which could be the could be the could be the guy that the Steelers could have at the quarter at the position unt, until they find someone who in the draft or in free agency that could work out for them in the end and and be the and be another great successor to Big Ben. Unless Mitch turns into an turns into a great quarterback after wasting his after after a tumultuous tenure in Chicago. But let's see how Mitch does with the Steelers. All right, and that's all the notable quarterback moves in the offseason that we could talk about. All right. We had lots of marquee free agency signings and trades. We're going to start off with the Devontae Adams trade to the Raiders. Devontae Adams, who was supposed to be the free agent in 2022, got franchise tagged by the Packers, only for him to refuse it and then demand a trade. And sure enough, he got traded to the Raiders and was given a big contract as well. I don't remember how many years and how much money was he given as part of the contract, but this move also reunites him with Derek Carr, who he used who he used to play with back at Fresno State, and were and, and both were even part of the 2014 draft, being taken by the respective teams, and now they're officially back together. But will this duo work out? We'll have to find out when the season begins. J.C. Jackson signed with the Chargers on an $82 million and an $82.5 million contract lasting for 5 years. Terran Armstead signed with the Dolphins for a $75 million contract. Von Miller, after winning another Super Bowl ring with the Rams, just signed a 6-year contract worth $120 million. I know this sounds excessive for a veteran linebacker who's signing with a with another team that's looking to 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 win the Lombardi Trophy, but depending on how much tank he has left in him, how depending on how much he has left in the tank, he could be a part of the elite Bills defense. It could be it could be a nice it could work out nicely for them if all things work out. All right. Chandler Jones just signed with the Raiders as well, and Bobby Wagner after the Seahawks got rid of his old friend Russell Wilson in a trade. Um, got cut by that team. Got the Seahawks. Um, Sorry. Bobby Wagner just got cut by the Seahawks. Not long after the team also decided to move on from Russell Wilson, his old pal. It didn't take long for Wagner to find a new team, as he signed with the Rams. Uh, and Allen Robinson just signed with the Rams as well. Um, Wagner has been given a $50 million contract lasting for 5 years, and Robinson getting a $46.5 million contract that should last for 3 years. Um, and there's also other notable receiver off-season move that I'm gonna talk about now, and it's the Tyreek Hill trade to the Dolphins. To everyone's surprise, Tyreek Hill got traded to the Dolphins after after spending years as being an integral part of the of the Chiefs team that won the Super Bowl, and 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 being Patrick Mahomes' favorite weapon to use on the field. Hill has gone from playing with an elite receiver with an, from, has gone from playing with an elite quarterback, possibly the best in the league right now, depending on your opinion, to a quarterback who has question marks above his head, um, and quite polarizing, but uh, but Hill, if he does work out for the Dolphins, could be Tua's main weapon, and they're also paired with, and they're also gonna work for their new coach Mike McDaniel, who replaced Brian Flores at the head coaching position. Flores Flores got fired at the end of the 2021 season, much to everyone's surprise, and he filed a lawsuit, which I will talk about maybe in another video, as it's a little complicated. It involves a lot of details I would have to get into that would take up a lot of time in this video. So, yeah. And that's everything about the Tyreek Hill trade. As for the Chiefs, losing Tyreek Hill to the trade would be a big loss for Patrick Mahomes, as he has no designated receiver one that he can use as his main weapon. Now, for now, he's going to have to rely heavily on Travis Kelce as his another main weapon. Maybe his only main weapon for now, unless they get a new replacement at the receiver one position, probably in a draft or in free agency or trade. Right? We got this. We got two British Airways planes moving. The Air New Zealand and Thai Airways planes moving too. Right. Last but not least, in the offseason moves, Aaron Rodgers. He signed a contract. He signed a new contract with the Packers after many rumors and speculation and much speculation about where he would go or if he would stay or go. So he's staying, but Rodgers, now that he signed a new contract for the Packers, is staying with the franchise that he's been with his entire career since being drafted by them in 2005. And so he's spending the rest of his career with them, unless he has a fallout with them and they end up getting rid of him because of that. But the contract could last for like, let me think for a minute. His contract makes him the highest paid quarterback in the league, earning about $50 million, earning about 42 to $60 million a year as part of his new 3-year, $150 million contract that will last until 2024, and afterwards he can retire. So Packers fans should be ecstatic about seeing the Hall of Fame quarterback staying with the franchise and continuing his legendary career. I know I've been hating on him, but I just want to describe how fans are feeling about his new contract. All right, and that's everything about the NFL offseason. There's much more to talk about, but I'm only going to talk about just the notable free agency signings for the sake of time, and also because I got lots of planes to take care of. We got the Korean Air Airbus A380. I have to get it to stop because of an Air New Zealand Boeing 787 that's moving that's pushing back. We got an Airbus A340 with no livery, just a blank one. All right, another air traffic controller is joining me right now. Okay. Yeah, lots of air traffic controllers right now. Yeah, we got the earlier, as you saw while I was talking about sports, we had the British Airways Concorde jet takeoff. I was in charge of. That aircraft was my responsibility. Since I am working right now up here. All right, I'm giving the New Zealand plane the clearance to move. All right. And the Korean Air A380 has decided to taxi through another way. I forgot what's that called, but I'm gonna have to get it to taxi behind the 787, where while the A340 is gonna have to wait for a little while, right? Okay, in basketball news, um, the playoffs have begun, but first, the play-in tournament had to settle the last two seeds in each conference. So we're gonna talk about that now. In the Eastern Conference, we had the Nets versus Cavs fighting for the seventh or eighth, the seventh, fighting for a chance to play against the Celtics. The Nets came up big and won in a close game against the Cavs. Meanwhile, the Clippers and Timberwolves faced each other for a chance to face either the Grizzlies or the Suns, as the Wolves were sitting at seventh and the Clippers were sitting at eighth. It was a tightly contested game, with the Wolves scoring a victory over the Clippers, and the Wolves celebrated the win as if they had won a championship. And most notably, Patrick Beverley, who 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 stood at the top of the scores table and cried tears of joy as he beat the as he beat his old team that dumped him. And the Hawks eliminated the Hornets in an Eastern Conference playing game between the ninth place and 10th place teams. And the Pelicans eliminated the Spurs and then moved on to face the Clippers. And they sent them home, and New Orleans sent LA home to face for a chance to play against the Suns, and and an upset. The Pelicans, even though Zion hasn't played for them all season long due to a foot injury, have shocked the NBA world by winning against the Clippers. They started off worse at first, but late in the season, thanks to the deadline trades involving CJ McCollum, involved deadline trade involving CJ McCollum, got dig the team out of the hole, and now New Orleans is set to face the Suns in Phoenix. The Hawks, in the tightly contested game against the Cavs, were in trouble by halftime. However, Trae Young came up big and scored 38 points in total to save his team from elimination, and 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 help them win the game for a chance to face the Heat in the playoffs. And that was the play-in tournament, everybody. All right, I'm clearing the Korean Air jet to take off. All right. All right. With the play-in tournament done, the playoffs are set. In the Eastern Conference, the Heat will face the Hawks, the 76ers will face the Raptors, the Bucks will get to face the Bulls, and last but not least, in, in the East, the Celtics get to face the Nets, and on the Western Conference, we get We get to see the Suns going at it with the Pelicans, Mavs and Jazz battling out against each other, Nuggets versus Warriors, and last but not least, in the Western Conference, Grizzlies versus Timberwolves. And the playoffs are all set. And that's all I can talk about in the NBA. And we'll talk about the playoffs more as it progresses in my videos until the NBA Finals, where we get the ultimate winner. All right, that's it. That's everything about sports that I talked about while I was working at the air traffic controller. Sorry if I talk too much about sports, but but if but if you don't want me to, but if you don't want to hear me talk about it, um, you could just watch as controlling planes and just read the chat, telling planes what to do, clearing them for takeoff or landing, and so on. All right. There was one plane that also departed for another airport that the Airbus A340s is heading towards. Um, um, it's waiting for clearance to take off. All right, it's now getting moving. I just cleared it for takeoff, as you just saw. All right. All right, it's about to lift off now. All right. All right. Um, with no planes to take care of right now, I guess I'm done. And I'll leave the job to the other guy that was working with me the whole time I've been recording this video, and I've been working on my job. I've been doing my job, and the whole time I've been doing my job. But it was fun being the air traffic controller instead of being the pilot. I love the job of being the air traffic controller, and I hope to do more videos of this game soon, and I could be either pilot or air traffic controller in these such videos, depending on which one I choose, which job I choose. Alright, that's it for this video. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.